Welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about Katherine Mansfield's A Cup of Tea. A cup of tea reflects the vanity of the upper class through Rosemary, a snobbish upper class woman. It exposes the artificial generosity of the privileged high class and their hypocrisy in order to receive gratitude, admiration, and respect from the people that they think belong to the lower class society. It deals with class consciousness, materialistic and delusional state of the creamy layer of the society, particularly women, and how easily they are psychologically manipulated by men. As the story begins, the narrator says that Rosemary, a high-class snobbish woman, was not actually the type of woman whom we would call pretty or beautiful. It's just that she was rich, stylish, and fashionable, lived an expensive lifestyle, buying expensive things from exclusive stores of Curzon Street, London. She was married for 2 years and would go to Paris for shopping. Like the common people would go to less expensive places like Bond Street, she would go to the best flower shop in Regent Street and just go, I want those and those and those. Give me 4 bunches of those and the jar of roses. She did not like lilac. According to her, lilacs got no shape. One fateful winter afternoon, she was doing her regular shopping at Curzon Street. She went into one of her favorite shop because the shopkeeper was very fond of her, and whenever she walks in, the shopkeeper would fully put his attention on her, fully at her service. He would flood her with words of appreciation and praise. Though they were just flattery, it still worked. That afternoon, he showed her a small box, a little enamel box, saying that he kept it just for her. The exquisite little enamel box looked so smooth, as though it had been baked in cream. The lid was decorated with the figure of a little girl and a child under a flowering tree. It cost 28 guineas. Rosemary loved it and told the shopkeeper to save it for her and that she would come back later. When she left the shop and was about to go home, she had to cross the street and get into her car, but she decided somehow just to look around and look at the gloomy weather, the cold, terrible weather, and she longed to go back home into her warm place and have a fine cup of tea. Just as she was thinking of all those things, a girl appeared and approached her and with a pitiable face asked for the price of a cup of tea. Rosemary was a rich girl in a luxurious world that it shocked her to hear that the girl had no money, not even the price of a cup of tea. Rosemary was the kind of materialistic girl who had no sense of knowledge about the reality of the poverty-stricken people, the suffering of the poor in the real world. She only read them in novels and heard about them in stories. She could not fathom the idea of starvation and struggle. So an idea struck her that it would be a good idea to take her home, provide her a cup of tea, and let her have a taste of luxury, the kind of life that she lives. And also she wanted to have a conversation with her and know her story. She asked the girl to go home with her to have a cup of tea, but she was of course not inviting her out of pity or having any idea about how this girl was suffering. She had no idea about her pain and condition. But she just thought that it would be interesting to listen to her story and experience firsthand the things that she read in novels and in books, and how fascinating it would be to narrate her experience with a poor beggar to her friends. The poor girl agreed uncertainly, and when they reached her home, Rosemary warmly welcomed her into her home, took off the girl's coat, and made her sit in a comfortable chair beside the fireplace. And in her attempt to show the poor girl how generous and kind she was, she totally forgot about her hunger, that the poor girl was starving. The poor girl could not bear any longer and cried, saying that if she did not have something, then she would die or she would faint. Rosemary quickly realized and ordered for some tea, sandwiches, bread and butter. She tried to comfort the poor girl and provided her with her laced handkerchief to wipe off her tears. As the starving girl had her tea and the food that was provided to her, Rosemary lit her cigarette and waited for her to finish so that she would narrate her interesting story. As soon as she lighted another cigarette and wanted to begin her conversation with the girl, her husband Philip walked in. Rosemary introduced the poor girl, whose name was Miss Smith, as her friend. And Philip was obviously confused when he saw his wife bringing in a poor girl, but his face did not show any sign of confusion or questionable look, and he calmly told Rosemary to come and meet with him in private. And once they were alone, he asked her who this poor girl was and her purpose of visit. Rosemary tried to explain the pitiful condition of Miss Smith and that she just wanted to be kind to this poor girl. Philip, on hearing how his wife Rosemary intended to help this poor girl, he suddenly expressed how beautiful this poor girl looked, that she was astonishingly pretty, absolutely lovely, and that he was bowled over as soon as he laid eyes on her. Then he simply said to Rosemary to go and invite Miss Smith if she would dine with them. On hearing such praise and admiration from her husband about another woman, naturally Rosemary was a little bit jealous and envious of the poor girl whom she had intended to help at first. But now, on hearing how Philip was interested in Miss Smith and how he found her pretty, she decided to send the girl away with some money. She gave her £3 notes and then just sent her away, forgetting her whole plan of trying to help this girl. Later, she put on her makeup, did her hair, and put on her pearls, made herself look presentable, and went to Philip, her husband, telling him that Miss Smith will not be dining with them because she insisted on leaving early. Rosemary then sat on Philip's knees and asked him, "Do you like me?" Her husband obviously replied that he did. Somehow satisfied to hear that, she said that she saw a fascinating enamel box, exquisite enamel box that cost 28 guineas, and if she could have it. Philip said that she should have it, that she could have it. But the real question that Rosemary really wanted to ask Philip was if she looked pretty in Philip's eyes. She wanted to ask Philip, "Am I pretty?" So saying, this prose comes to an end. That was a short explanation of A Cup of Tea by Katherine Mansfield. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.